Alright, so this is a bit of a self-indulgent video that I just wanted to do. So I've logged into my first ever Runescape account. I think I made this, must have been March-ish, I don't remember, 2008. And I just wanted to kind of go over what's on it, maybe some memories, just kind of have a bit of a ramble and a chat, just to kind of cement it somewhere, because we all get old and our memories go, and I just thought maybe I'd have a little nosy and just see. So there's the 15-year cape and Eek the spider. So I'm fairly close to the 20-year. I think it's like another 2 years. No, wait. Well, why would it be 20 years? Like 2008, 2018, 10-year. Yeah, so it'd be quite a few years now. 4 years. So these are the stats I ended up with. As you can see, dungeoneering is kind of the cut-off point. I'm trying to think when I stopped playing. Really, it was. I must have played for a couple of years. I experienced. They changed to RuneScape HD. I think that was 2008, 2009. I think it was early 2008. It feels like a long period of time playing. I was playing when it looked like old school, or at least when I started, on my grandmother's computer, because my cousin showed me this cool game you could play. This was before tabs in your browser kind of thing as well. So um, to kids, it must have felt like a lot longer than it actually was, because it was only a few months later that HD came out, or maybe my computer couldn't run it, or I wasn't a member. I don't know. But anyway, and I played this account. There's only something like 500 to 700 odd hours of game time on it. I must have stopped somewhere in early secondary school. But anyway, so yeah, they're pretty crap, right? Combat level 70. I remember being stuck at level 63 or 68 for ages and being really frustrated that why can't I make my combat level go up? But completely unwilling to actually do any content, right? But yeah, so basically free to play dungeoneering only. Yeah. I definitely did have members though, as you can see by all these other skills. But I just didn't play for long enough to get to a lot of members only stuff. I mean, summoning. It's like I feel extremely nostalgic for summoning, and yet I don't get it very far. But anyway, so that's plainly evident there. The quests was an interesting one. There's a hell of a lot of quests that I just did and never finished. But a lot I did do. Like I distinctly remember a lot of these, playing these early on. Oh god, the mini quest sorting. And I'd let it be known that like I in the modern day I'm a big player of both games. I love both games. I think the timeline for accounts is something like I played this end of primary school, start of secondary school. Towards the very end of secondary school, I played old school for the first time. I remember playing that on an old, terrible Acer laptop and on OS Buddy, and I still have all these accounts. I didn't get very far in that one, got quite far. And then when I went to college before university, I played that same account but on RS3, and I just rushed the lab coat from Invention. Like it was just like a stupid autistic fixation thing of like, oh, I really want this thing because it's of an interest. And I didn't really experience like too much of the game. I've got some very nostalgic memories of like Menopause coming out and stuff like that, and going through some of the old school quests and some of the new ones. When I started university, I decided to do an old school Iron Man on a new account, which ended up becoming my old school and RS3 main. It just sucks that I can't play both at once, but and I'm maxed on both of those now. I maxed the old school one like last month, but yeah. So it's kind of been it's been a game that has lived with me for a long, long time. I adore both of them. People, I know RS3 has its waves of being good and terrible again. Um, but I just adore it all. But yeah, sorry, that was a bit of a tangent there. But like to say that I adore quests now, like going for the quest cape on RS3 was the most fun I ever have had on RuneScape. Maybe in regards to a lot of other games, narratively, like reliving some of the nostalgia, building on the nostalgia, like following quest lines that end in old school, or I never got to. I think somewhere down here, if I can skip to it, I've got something like, I forgot my alphabet. Quiet Before the Swarm, right? This is my favourite quest line in RS3, the Void Knight one. And I just never got anywhere. I don't even remember doing Quiet Before the Swarm, but I did it. But then coming back as an adult and playing RS3 over the past, well, I think throughout university, towards the in patches over the years, oscillating between old school and RS3. I remember Sick Nerd when he streamed RS3 during the pandemic. Like, I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, continuing these quest lines and enjoying those, that was probably the most fun I've had. The only big like tragedy to me really that is that I never continued this account. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to make this little video, this little indulgent ramble, is primarily so that I can just enshrine the state of this account should I ever do anything with it. I mean, look, how did I get this? 83 fire making, that's mad. That was my first 99 on that second account I ever played on RS3 in college. I was just fixated on it. But yeah, I wanted to codify it here somewhere, just because I'm thinking if I did decide to come back and play this for whatever reason, it's kind of annoying that like my main is one account that plays both games. Both of them are maxed. I mean, my RS3 main is very nearly comped. I've fallen behind a little bit since playing old school, but very nearly comped. At one point, I was literally just like 120 Slayer away from it. Now necromancy and all that's out. But yeah, I mean, it sucks. Like, sure, like I'd love to have the very first ever account I ever played be my best and greatest, and it would follow my continuum through playing RuneScape. But I think at this point I've heavily invested. I've got like tens of thousands of hours in the other account, in the newest account, I guess. But yeah, no, and I'll stop rambling now. I just wanted to also have a look at the bank because I've got some interesting items in here that I think might be quite nostalgic for people, but also really show when I stopped. So I think I stopped as Evolution of Combat came out. But as a kid, like I was very fickle. I have distinct memories of like spending all day playing RuneScape on a weekend or getting home from school and playing it. But then there being huge swaths of time where I just didn't touch the game. But I do remember not playing for a while, maybe starting secondary school or something, coming back a couple of years later maybe, and then there's Evolution of Combat, and I didn't get it, and I didn't understand it, and it wasn't that. I know it upset a lot of people. Same with things like free trade and whenever that happened, but like I know it upset a lot of people, but I didn't get it. It was just like, oh, I don't really know why it's changed or what's different or how to like cope with it being different, and I just didn't stick around. I mean, now, like, I learned how to play full manual. It took me years to do, but I learned how to play full manual, and it's lots of fun. Like, they've definitely made the game mechanically more fun. But anyway, and the biggest part of this, reason I bring up EOC, is I have this combat beta contract. Now, I'm not a member, so I can't use it, examine it to see the thing. But I think this was to participate in, like, the beta for EOC coming out, and this is probably the most interesting item I have because it's like a discontinued item. If I destroy it, it's gone. But yeah, it's very interesting. And then the same for like holiday items. RS3 having like discontinued untradeable holiday items is a weird thing to me. But I distinctly remember like this event. I remember the Chocatrice event. There was Easter, I think. The web cloak, and obviously Eek the spider. I think they added Eek in old school, but it sucks. I've just got like these obscure bits and pieces. I mean, the Jester outfit I did. Was it Fremenic Isles up to a point? I never even finished it. Yeah, the Fremenic Isles. Where did I get to? I haven't even repaired the bridges to finish the quest. Like I got the Jester costume, thought it was sick. I think I hung out in free to play with a friend, running around in a Jester outfit, and he got really annoyed at me for looking like a clown. Like, I, when people say, "Oh, I was a dumb kid when I played RuneScape," I feel like I was so dumb, or just so like aloof and just didn't really get it. Like, why do I have all of these like party game items, orb of counting and stuff? Like, oh, they're so cool, I'll have them in my bank. And it's like, oh, get a grip. Rune Guardian. This is like pure junk though. Like this is a junk bank. And this was from when they had that lockout where no one could log in. So I mean, it's got something useful on there. If I ever played this and became a member, I don't know. Raven eggs, yep. Early summoning where you would get pet eggs. I know for a fact that these herbs have come from the Chaos Druids under Tavali. That was my cousin took me back before High Detail came out, and we'd sit at my grand's computer in browser, and we'd go down to the Chaos Druids, or like I'd be staying at my grandparents for the night, and my cousin who lived in the village would log on, and we'd meet up, and we'd just hang out in game and go and kill Chaos Druids together, get some Renar weeds because they were worth a nice amount. Just daft, like fun, like carefree shit like that. Giant's Hand, don't know what that is. But yeah, I know it's not a lot, 10-year cape, 15-year cape, but it's just, I don't know, I get nostalgic. I don't really have an outlet or a creative outlet for that. Sometimes, like, I feel like, oh, I really need to somehow capture and solidify like my nostalgia, and it's just not really possible. I mean, I've even looked into like coding private servers or playing private servers from 2009, 2011. I did get a bit misguided pursuing 2011 because turns out that wasn't the era of the game I really played, but it's whatever. I played 2008, 9, 10 at a stretch. Bit of 11, maybe not even a bit of 11, but you know what I mean. Like I disappear for huge periods of time, come back to the game, run around, complain, don't not even get any of these quests done. Just be like, oh, I'm level 68 combat. Why can't I do anything? Why am I poor? And then log out, and then EOC comes around, and then the rest is history. But I have a screenshot somewhere of being stood at the Grand Exchange on a Windows Vista themed laptop, like a square resolution. I think there was tabs at the top, but there might not have been tabs. It might have just been a window. It must have been my Internet Explorer or something. And I bought a Dragon Longsword. I'd saved up enough. It was something like 60 odd K maybe. And I bought a Dragon Longsword. I didn't even have 60 attack, but I took the screenshot, printed it out, and using like a metallic silver pen circled it and put an arrow to it. And I put it in a scrapbook next to a drawing I'd made of some RuneScape characters fighting a demon. I have a copy of that digitally somewhere. I don't know if I'll edit the video, but I could just like paste it over the screen. I don't know. I'll figure that out. That's about it, really. Ooh, the spider moved across me there. Not a lot of music either. Is there anything else that's particularly interesting? I don't know. perhaps not. Some classic names on here. Do I have any ignores now? Yeah, there's probably a whole host of other thoughts and feelings that I could just sit and ramble, but I think I could find better ways maybe to express those, better means to do that. But yeah, God, I love RuneScape. It's great. I mean, I'm playing a UIM now. I still want to comp. Still never been to a Rune Fest. It's a shame that it's potential that the one this year, 2024, will maybe not go ahead. We don't know yet. But I've been really getting into just finding ways to. You can't relive and recapture it. That's the problem. When people go to old school and they release new content, they get upset because it's not old school. Old school isn't nostalgic anymore. It's its own thing. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. It isn't about nostalgia anymore. I mean, I play on HDOS, so I can have that like 2009-10 aesthetic, which is nostalgic, but it's its own beast, and you can't go back. But you can like think back and reflect. I mean, if I could find the like 2 RuneScape music videos that my cousin's friend made that I starred in, like they're probably like lost media, but you know, it's like you can collate memories together, and that's kind of what this was attempting to be. But we're coming up on like 17 minutes worth of me just prattling on and scrolling through a bank with nothing really in it. But I just thought I'd get that off my chest, and if anyone listening is interested in sharing their nostalgic memories, even if it's daft. Like when I was a kid, I didn't understand the mini map because it was so narrow, and you had to close RuneScape because there was no tabs. You had to open the world map from the website and then close that and then come back to RuneScape. And I just got lost in Port Sarim docks because the render distance was tiny. The mini map confused me. I was a dumb kid. But that's like one of my first memories of the game. And having low health from attacking a goblin, and my cousin told me, "Oh, log out. It'll replenish while you're logged out. I'll play in the meantime." It does not replenish when you're logged out, you know. But just silly, whatever. Like I love to hear other people's silly or trivial, or they might not be silly or trivial. I mean, they mean a lot to me. They'll mean a lot to you. But just inconsequential kind of stories. They're 10th anniversary cake. They're the kind of things that I enjoy hearing. Yeah, so that's about it. I don't think there's anything else to really continue here. Nothing of interest. A lot of this stuff is like newer stuff that I ended up picking up. Duelist cap, I think it's from Bounty Hunter. I got this kills cape once from like a lobby with 1 noob in it. You know, it was daft. Swanky boots. But yeah, anyway. That's about it. Cheers.